So this is our intensive care unit. It's 13 normal beds. The vast majority of our patients, about 70%, are valvular patients due to rheumatic fever.
Yeah.
Salam alaikum. Breathe, eh? Deeply, deeply. You have to move the chest, eh? Move here. Good. If you have pain, ask them and they will give you a tablet. The right to receive proper health care is a universal right. My right to health care as European cannot include a CT scan and sophisticated diagnosis and so on. And the right to be cured for an African stops at the level of a couple of vaccinations and a few antibiotics. And that's where the idea of establishing centers of excellence in Africa came up.
Andy, Ramiro, dopo che ho fatto questa mena, mi giravo un po' per il volto. La dopo si lo fanno qua. Favola. Non c'è niente. Come si? Wow. Angie. Felicitazioni. Angie. Tu vuoi cambiare la buca da là?
You have to finish.
Come ne sei? Non comincia a tirare. Ecco, sì, sono.
Most of your patients are coming from where?
Well, they're coming from everywhere. This was what was agreed from the very beginning with the ministries of health of Sudan and neighboring countries.
Yeah.
Since we don't have the possibility to build many centers, let's move the patients as much as possible.
Yes.
Sudan is in a very strategic position. No other country in the world has got 9 neighbors. And it's the largest African country, so it looked rather interesting to establish a center there, open from the very beginning to people coming from abroad. This is the one that was done this morning. And by chance, the former Minister of Health was very much enthusiastic of this idea, and he supported it very much at government level. Put the mask on, we have a look inside where we are. Good morning. With a center designed for 1,500 cases a year, we are now temporarily, I hope, stepping down the number of operations because we have to solve some financial problems.
Yeah, I understand.
We need to increase our financial resources to continue to help patients, particularly small kids. It's a big challenge, but I think it's worth.
This center is really ambitious.
I think this is a unique hospital. A lot of attention was paid to the impact of the environment. The clinical part of the hospital is completely sealed. We have done open-heart surgeries here while outside there was a sandstorm and not one grain came inside.
السلام عليكم. معلش. تمام السلام عليكم.
This camp is about 400,000 people living. People escaping from war and poverty from the south and escaping from Darfur. They gather here. Let's go in. Many more clinics like this would be needed. Ciao. Ciao. Tamam? What's wrong with this? Fever?
Fever? Running nose.
Uh-huh. Funny boys.
السلام عليكم.
Salam.
السلام عليكم.
What's your name? Huh? Good. Oh my goodness.
السلام عليكم. تمام. تمام. السلام عليكم. معلش.
Salam.
السلام عليكم. كيف تمام؟ تمام. السلام عليكم.
It depresses me all the time to see all these kids living in those conditions. I mean, it's a scandal. Millions and millions of people, they have just no chance, no access to healthcare, no access to education, no access to hygiene, no access to a decent life. And this is probably the biggest social crime worldwide because the resources are there.
كيف الحال؟ تمام.
The problem is that resources are distributed in a very unjust way. We have to find some way to help them to get rid of all this. Needs are so many and so different. You are trying to do what you can, but the impact is minimal. We work like donkeys, and we could do at most 1,500 cases per year. What is that compared to 5 million who are today in need? And people die just waiting for a surgical chance that doesn't exist, basically. So when you just finish one operation, you don't feel like you have done something important. Today we had a surprise visit of the president of Sudan, Omar Bashir. It's the first time he sees the hospital, and he came to the right moment because we needed to ask for their support.
Thank you very much for coming.
There was a commitment of the health authorities to contribute to this project. Unfortunately, we were supposed to receive $5 million per year, and in fact, those reduced to slightly more than $2 million.
لسه. تفضل.
Political issues should be left outside hospitals. Doctors are doctors, and medical personnel have to look after people who are in need. And that's the end of the story.
As you know, I mean, this center was meant since the very beginning to be a joint project of emergency and the government of Sudan.
I'm totally honest with you. We as emergency have been drained out of money because of the impressive running cost of this center. So how do we find the resources for this center?
لو عملنا علاج تكافلي
هم راضيين يدفعوا العيانين فلوس لانه اغلب العيانين تعبانين.
لكن بعدين في الغرف، في غرف خاصه، في اجنحه خاصه للمقتدرين، لكن الما مقتدر في العنابر العاديه يعني، والمستشفى شايل رقبته.
We are giving a strong message also to the neighboring countries of the free health care. So we should preserve that message and find
We are not questioning
alternative ways.
We are not questioning the free treatment for the people whom you used to treat. We are talking about another sector of patients who are not coming to you right now.
What I'm saying is that if we have the funds guaranteed, then we can think of extra ways of making money for the hospital so that in the future the government will not be obliged to put every year $5 million.
انهم يعملوا حاله هنا تجاريه.
المطعم يطاق راجل العائد حقه يمشي للمستشفى، راح نحدث في
يعملوا لهم مجانا ب 2 مليون يورو
بالنايل. احنا بدل ما نعمل المطعم والنايل ده ما شغله. احنا نعمل مستشفى مركز قلب ثاني زي ده كده. كويس؟ ذاك يكون خاص للناس المقتدرين فقط.
He said you have this center for free for the patients with rheumatic heart disease. You know rheumatic heart disease is a disease of poor people. He said we make another center. All the income of that private center will come to this center.
If I'm not wrong, Mr. President committed to find...
Committed to help. But the President is throwing ideas to be discussed in details so that we can secure the finance for the future.
So it's really important that the nature of this hospital, being the center of excellence, free of charge, is untouched.
No problem. We are not going to touch this hospital. This hospital will continue to
work as it is.
as this.
Yes.
What was important was that the commitment in the short term was guaranteed. Then we said, okay, then we can get another meeting and we will explain why private health facility cannot be linked to such a center, because the two ideas are two different things.
The hospital has to be guaranteed free access for everybody. We are always accountable to you, but we run this hospital according to our guidelines from A to Z, and you do not interfere with that.
مع السلامة.